Hello my fellow book readers, my name's Reb, welcome to my first video, and to set the bar I won't just be reviewing one book but five. Those five books form the Banned and the Banished series by James Clemens.
Witch Fire, Witch Storm, Witch War, Witch Gate, and Witch Star.
The first book introduces the characters as you'd expect. The protagonist is a young girl named Elena who discovers that she is a witch. Now, Clemens in this book series uses creative apostrophes to kind of give an exotic edge to a lot of very normal words. The first one being witch, which has an apostrophe in there just for kicks, it seems. It gives the book its own kind of feel in terms of language. You feel like you're part of the world. It's set in a fictional world called Elysia, where magic is normal and people expect magic to happen. However, the kinds of magic that Elena is capable of are usually only seen from men. Now, the story tells us that the last time a woman had this kind of power was a very long time ago, and she did bad things with it. Or did she do good things with it? There's a brilliant juxtaposition of the opinions that certain characters have of the last witch, and consequently what their presuppositions about Elena and her powers are. A wonderful kind of story within a story element to the books as well, which is very meta. The premise is that we are reading these scrolls telling an ancient history, but it's forbidden that we should read them, hence the banned part. The books are written in third person but with first person knowledge. What I mean by that is when we're talking in the third person about a particular character, we're seeing things from their perspective and we're understanding what they're feeling, but not the people around them, as if we're inside their head, but it's third person narrative. It takes a couple of pages to get used to, but it's a really cool way to tell a story, I think, and you'll understand once you get to the end of this one why it's done in that particular way. Another interesting thing about the books is that they are definitely not for the faint-hearted. There's a lot of very graphic descriptions of very violent things, very sexualized things, very vulgar, disgusting, bloody. It's really a dark series with some light-hearted elements, obviously. I think it balances well, but it's not for the sort of person that wants a read that's not going to shock. There's a couple of points that even I sort of had to put the book down for a second and compose my thoughts. The story is told really well, and every chapter ends on a cliffhanger, so you can't stop turning the pages to get to the next. As I mentioned at the start, the series is 5 books long. In kind of a Lord of the Rings style, each book is separated into sort of books within a book. Can sort of help you to break down the story. It kind of gives you steps that the characters are taking, and can sometimes be a split between the narrative of one character and what's going on with the next. But as I said about the chapter endings, each book within a book has a very big cliffhanger to it as well. So I personally went through Witch War, which is one of the thickest books, in a little bit over 3 days. I just couldn't put it down, so every chance I had to read it, I was. I think that a lot of people will get that with the series. They'll just want to know what's going to happen to the characters, how everything's going to pan out. It does provide a really compelling read. Overall, I would definitely recommend the series. Anyone who's read something like Wheel of Time or Lord of the Rings will understand the feeling of a book that contains elemental characters, elves, witches, and I think really get a kick out of the different way that Clemens takes this story and kind of builds it into something that's of the genre but unique in its own sense. So I would definitely give these books 5 stars and recommend them. That's all from me for this time, and I will see you very soon.